Zook, zook, Cinderella, zook, zook. Now, now, now. Look, a little guy. Right a easy. Nothing to worry about. We like you. Cinderella like you, too. She's nice, very nice. That's a better. Come on now. Zook, zook, zook. Zook, zook.
Sorry.
Is that the opening theme by Jerry Lewis? I'm okay with this. We're totally good with that as the opening theme song.
Hooray for Hollywood, yoy!
Nice lady. Hello, Internet dwellers, and welcome back to Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library. I am Jeff. Joining me on the other end of the Internet, thousands of miles away, I mean right next to me, is
Hug.
TC. Hello, TC. Hug.
Hello, Jeff. Good to be here with you in the same room. Thousands of miles.
Not thousands of miles away, in our studio where all the celebrities sit and watch.
It's
Jerry
all
Lewis,
an illusion.
Jerry Lewis just did the opening theme song, so that's another of the 40 people that are watching
You
us
have
right now.
such a lovely theme song.
Jerry Lewis, but also slightly borderlining on Woody Allen. It's hard to it's hard to judge. Actually, I don't know who's whom. But
Put on the spot to do a Jerry Lewis. All I can do is the Freundleven with the going, and why are you doing the theme song?
it's okay because doesn't anybody from our generation just do that as Jerry Lewis?
If not Jerry Lewis, they're just doing the Jerry Lewis analog from Animaniacs, who
That's
said Freundleven is the password. Freundleven. How did you know? Call it a hunch.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So TC, we are now welcome to the part of the show, welcome to the part of the podcast where we have no longer doing a packaged movie.
We are in the golden era of Disney. We have entered what will be a succession of some of the greatest, most classic, memorable films in the entire Disney library.
Now, I am not going to lie. It took me about 20 minutes into this movie before I stopped expecting it to go into a new segment with a brand new story. Like I was waiting for the break.
Hey, when was the next short section start? No, this is so we watched 1950 Cinderella. We are out of World War II. We have the full Walt Disney Animation Studios force back producing this film. This is one of the most classic Disney movies entering one of the original golden era. Right. There's the Disney Renaissance of the 90s, which we will get down the road, but this is the original golden era of Disney animation films. And
I think it's obvious. It's very noticeable that we've hit that era because just watching this film, it is very different feeling. Like we got a little bit of it like during The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Like you could kind of see that they were edging themselves into this era of animation and of filmmaking. But you could really tell like once you hit here, you're like, oh, okay, yes. This is Disney as I remember it. This is the style, the way it's drawn, the way it's animated. Beautifully animated, by the way.
Yeah, did you watch? I watched the Blu-ray restoration. I don't know if that's what you watched.
Yep, that's what I watched too.
The backgrounds. Now, to talk about the Blu-ray restoration for a little bit, I'm a little turned off by all the Blu-ray restorations they've done for all the Disney movies because they've cleaned them so much that the charm of the hand-drawn animation is slightly altered. It's a little it's too clean, it's too modernized, and the charm of the hand-drawn animation is it's minimal. This is not a major complaint, but there's a little sadness in seeing the absolute cleanness of the movie,
Right. Well, and that's a problem that I've had just going slightly away from Disney, but that's a problem I have with like the Blu-ray for like Charlie Brown Christmas or any of those like 1950s, 1960s cartoons that have been digitally restored in the best quality you ever see, because you look at it and you're like, oh, I can see all the mistakes and all the faults, and you can see the shadow of the animation cell in the background because it wasn't lit the correct way where you didn't see it. And it's like you almost the cleanliness of it is almost its downfall because you see the faultiness in some of those. Now Disney, you don't see the faultiness in it, but I agree. They kind of got rid of that. Like, it almost doesn't feel like it's hand drawn anymore.
Yeah, it's super minor complaint because the restoration on this one is quite good. And
oh yes,
the movie itself is. We are out of that collection of short stories and unfinished films era. We're out of that because this movie, Cinderella, capitalizes on all the strengths of everything they've done so far. They return to form with what we saw in Bambi, Cinderella, and Pinocchio, which would be the original era fairy tales.
Right.
And I think someone commented on Facebook that they still felt this one followed sort of vignettes. Am I right? Did someone say something about that?
You know what? If they did, I apologize. I missed it. I did not see if
that's
they did
fine.
Or not. I will look if you want to keep talking.
No, there's so much to talk about with this movie, but what I'll say up front is the script of this movie, the cause and effect of one scene to the next is great. This is the definitive Cinderella. Anytime anyone thinks of Cinderella, they think of this version of Cinderella.
Right.
Now, Cinderella was already a wildly known fairy tale, a piece of European Grimm's fairy tale, Hans Christian Andersen folklore. It had been around it was timeless even when this came out. And to speak of the credit to the script, they blew through the intro because, all right, you all know this little girl who had a father, who needs a mother, marries the evil stepmother, father passes away, girl becomes a scullery maid. Let's begin.
Which, by the way, I love that intro. I love how they addressed it because they addressed it in like still frames.
Yeah, almost like very minimal animation.
Right. Like you're flipping through a book, and it's like the occasional drawing that's inside of a children's book to kind of like aid in the story. Like I like that. I went, oh, that's really cool. Plus, those were really beautiful looking, and I'm like, okay, good. You got me. It's almost like they recapped the previous unseen Cinderella film, and was just like, yeah, this is what you need to know. Don't worry about it. You don't need to see that. And moving on with the real story.
Subsequent Cinderellas have gone and decided to tell the story of Cinderella with her father and him passing away and meeting the stepmother and building up that whole, what would essentially be the first act of the story, which is fine. There's Cinderella has been done an innumerable amount of times. So if you're not for lack of any variation of this story, but for this, the Disney one being the definitive one, to blow past that setup to just get to the point of the story, that's really great. A great way to execute this film, execute the story. And that tight script continues on in that, okay, we meet Cinderella. She explains what her dream is. We meet her little animal sidekicks. One of the animal sidekicks is captured. Hey, let me tell you about the cat. Now here's the cat. That equals to Bruno. Bruno outside. Then the stepsisters call. Then she goes upstairs. You meet all that. And that's the whole first act of the movie.
Right. And I would argue that you don't necessarily need that whole intro about the dad and about like her Cinderella as a little girl, only so you sympathize, I guess, with Cinderella a little bit more because you can see this like this all the heartache that she's gone through at this point.
Yeah.
And now the stepsisters and the stepmother are just like just laying it on thicker. But I still think you just the way that they presented it in this film, you get that sympathy out of Cinderella. You see that they're kind of jerks to her. And you can tell she's not happy, but she's making the best of it. And you still feel for her. You still know she's the heroine of the story, and she's who you want to, who you're rooting for. And, you could argue that, like, obviously the stepmother and the stepsisters are very obviously evil. I mean, the cat's name is Lucifer. I pretty much that's like a red flag that is not a good person.
I am planning on this cat being a evil little a-hole, so I'm just going to name him Lucifer.
Yep.
But that is shorthand animation at its finest. To design characters from immediately when you see a character to understand their characteristics, their personality. That's Disney 101. That's animation 101. And it's not lazy because the design aspects of each of the characters are very well thought out. I love Lady Tremaine as this villain because everything works to paint her as a villain. Like, in the grand scheme of things, she's a greedy, selfish woman. But the tone of the music and the design of the backgrounds behind her, the way they play with light very cinematically in painting her in every image she's in, her eyebrows, her expressions, she's a great villain visually, and not just in design, but everything around her.
What I like is that, speaking of the design, like, I love that, like, her room and then the stepsister's rooms are all very tall. They're drawn very tall and kind of thin, both as characters and as the environment. And then you get to Cinderella, and her room is a very short, small. There's not a lot of wasted space. It's kind of showing that, like there's like, I take that as like, and this is me looking far too deep into this movie, but we've done this in the past, so I'm going to keep going with it. But like, I can see like the stepsisters and the stepmother's rooms are all big and almost like a lot of wasted space. Like, they're not using all of that space. And then meanwhile, Cinderella has a little bit of space, and she uses it all to the biggest potential, because she's up inside the tower, isn't she?
The tower,
like,
yeah.
That's where her room is. Very classic, very, very, just continuing with like a medieval classic fairy tale of a princess locked in a tower, you know, even though she's married into princess, or yeah. Anyways.
Yes, yeah, but it's a very humbling. She's very humble. She's not.
Yeah.
There's nothing selfish. She's this inherently good person, and that is in all of her design as well. She's cute in how she wakes up and futzes with the animals, and she dreams and she fantasizes, and like,
and they let her bathe her, which is kind of strange. Let's just get right. Cinderella, little lazy. She's letting the animals bathe her. Let's just admit it, everybody.
No, she's so good to the animals that they are willing to help her. But you are onto something here in bringing up the animal sidekicks. This is definitive Disney princess right here.
Yep.
If you look at Enchanted, which is a Disney movie that's a send up of a lot of the classic tropes of Disney fairy tales, there's a crap ton of Cinderella in Giselle. She's got the animal sidekicks that help her clean and help her get ready in the morning, and that is definitive Disney.
And for the record, these animal sidekicks, Cinderella could sell these sidekicks to, I don't know, like a circus that might be really into flying animals and a bear that can roll around and entertain people. She could sell them to a circus and make tons of money because they made a dress for her. Oh my goodness.
Jacques the mouse is my first Disney character obsession, I guess. There's so much to credit Jacques here for. First of all, I love the way he talks. I had a little Jacques toy that I had gotten in like a McDonald's Happy Meal, and he was a plush, like a little doll, and I carried that guy with me everywhere.
Well, it's so weird. Like, I was trying to, like, I remember the mice in this film. Like, now again, I've seen Cinderella. It's been ages since I've seen it. I remember the animals, but I don't remember, like, I don't remember Jacques.
Oh,
like,
Jacques, come on.
I looked at him and I went, oh yeah, okay, this character. But I didn't realize, I think this character was in Cinderella. Like, I think I was maybe confusing it that he was in some other later film. Like maybe like Sleeping Beauty or something. I didn't realize this was a Cinderella thing. And I got really excited because I was then trying to remember Jacques and trying to remember, like, do I? I love the way he talks.
Jacques and Gus. Oh yeah, Jacques and Gus are but Jacques' way of talking. But this is a credit, again, Disney right here is proving their strengths. This is a girly princess fairy tale, but being obsessed as a little boy being obsessed with Jacques, they have all the right elements here to appeal to more than just little girls who want to be princesses.
Right.
They have the funny animal sidekicks to appeal to the kids, and that shows the strength of Disney, like capitalizing on their strength of like, okay, we can appeal to this group and this group at the same time. That's
right. Never making it too one-sided.
Right.
Know, of a film, that there's still things in this that non-little girls are going to enjoy. Like little boys can still laugh at it and have fun with it. Or anybody can have fun with it.
The Jacques versus Lucifer, as well as Gus and Lucifer, is straight up classic animated cat versus mouse cartoon, right?
Yep.
This is Tom and Jerry. This is Sylvester and Tweety. This is classic Disney cartoon animation.
I really enjoyed like how funny Lucifer actually kind of was. Like as mean of a character as he is, he's got a couple good, just kind of like funny, silly moments, and it's mostly like during the Jacques and Gus like chase. But he's not just a straight up villain of a cat.
Mm-hmm. Right. And now I can see like someone would say all these tangents and just these little sub scenes to pad out the runtime of the movie or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I can understand why someone would feel that way, but I would say every one of those little scenes that shows them dealing with Lucifer and introducing Bruno, just at the beginning there, introducing Bruno and the characteristics of the stepmother and the stepsisters, Gisela and Anastasia, all that in the first act plays a part in the climax.
Right,
we introduce Bruno and Lucifer's relationship, and that saves the day at the end.
Yep. And and introducing all of those characters and showing like how connected they are to Cinderella, or how like, I don't want to say like dedicated, that's maybe not the right term, but like just how much they care about her, and then having be like, well, yeah, those are the logical like reason, they're the logical characters to be transformed like into the carriage and into the because they're still helping her out. You know, you see the dedication they have to her and how much they care about her and want to help her out. And even in this case, they're willing to be transformed into something absolutely not at all what they normally are, and are willing to be okay with it to go help her and then help her get back home.
Yeah.
Quick tangent.
Tangent away.
Why did the horse not get turned into a horse?
No, that's the joke. Come on, that's great. This is the fairy godmother who Jeff, is this an aged blue fairy? Have we?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, the the fairy godmother and her for absent-mindedness or her illogical attitude of turn this into this and this into this is it's cute. And again, this is classic Disney. To create a character that is so memorable in less than 5 minutes of film time is incredible.
Oh yeah, because the fairy godmother reminds me of like my grandma. Like she feels to me like a real person. I love that I'm gonna say this. I love the fact that she's not some like thin, overly gorgeous, beautiful woman. Like I like that she's kind of plumpy and she's kind of like forgetful, and she looks like that. Like maybe she's been doing this for a long time and she's gotten really kind of relaxed with it, but doesn't quite remember everything because she has been doing it for a long time and is just trying to keep up with it. Like I like that, but at the same time, there is still warmth and heart to her character.
Yeah, she's very, very grandmotherly. She's such a memorable character. That's amazing how little screen time she has and how important she is to the entire Disney library. Her appearance, her existence, and her song "Bippity Boppity Boo" is Disney to a T.
I was just gonna say, like as a character that's got such short little screen time, she also has a song, which is like half of her screen time, which is crazy to be like, here, introduce this new character, give her a song, and she's out. That's it.
We will see more characters like this over the course of the library. People who come in, get their moment in the spotlight, and get out. This is this, and we can talk about the music if you'd like, but this is the first showstopper that you will find over the course of we will discover over the course of these Disney movies, that right about in the middle there of every one of these, there's going to be the showstopper, the Never Had a Friend Like Me, if I may use Aladdin as an example, the Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast. We will see these over the course of the more musical animated films. That this was the beginning of that formula, that element of the formula to have the showstopper right there.
And it's the song that everybody generally walks away from the film remembering. Like, that song. You will like everybody. I don't know. You could ask anybody about, just since you mentioned it, like Fred Like Me. Ask anybody to name a song from Aladdin, and that's probably the one that, if they don't know it by name, that they'll be like, this the one the genie sings.
That might be the first one, yeah. Before maybe Whole New World, but yeah.
Maybe Whole New World, only because Celine Dion made that a giant hit as well. We'll get to that later. Yeah, it's interesting to look at it like this was kind of the start. It's so crazy that kind of started way back in the 50s, and so by the time that like our generation was watching Disney movies, it was just like an old hat. They're like, all right, well, we have to have that song in it that, this is the song, this is that song, this is our bibbidi boppity boo, like that. Like, it's crazy to think that it was such second nature 40 years later at that point.
Yeah, but there's all the music in this. Actually, the whole score of this film is top notch. Yes, the cheating score, This Is How You Should Feel. That's what scores do when you really think about it.
Yep.
This one certainly does allow that to happen, but the score of this movie is so wonderful, and it complements all these themes. There's a lot of musical motifs that they play with right from the get-go. There's the opening song, Cinderella, which is just the opening credits. Mm-hmm. Easy to forget that one.
Right.
But you have A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes, which is the solo princess song that Cinderella sings and paints everything you need to know about her, that she's this dreamer. And then you have Sing Sweet Nightingale, which shows the inherent difference between these terrible stepsisters and the beautiful Cinderella. And you know what? I think about Sing Sweet Nightingale every time I'm like mopping my floor in my kitchen. I didn't realize that's all the lyrics. That's it.
It's just
Sing Sweet Nightingale, sing Sweet Nightingale. That's it. That's the whole song.
Oh man, I didn't actually I didn't make the connection that was all the lyrics in the entire song.
That's it. But this is the first time I ever noticed it was when it was playing, and then I was like, hey, wait a second. But then there's the callback to the opening Cinderella song, and that goes right into We Can Do It, where the mice make the dress.
Right.
And then we have Bibbidi Boppidi Boo, and we have So This Is Love, which is the song that she sings while dancing with the prince. And then all that comes to a conclusion in the end where we get a call back to A Dream Is You Wish Your Heart Makes. Like this is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs with a couple reprisals. That's a heck of a lot of music for this movie.
Yeah, for coming out of I guess there was like obviously the package films had a lot of individual songs, but
yes.
Those were like a bunch of them were existing pieces of music that they use or that other artists had written for those pieces and they did animation to it. Like now we get back into here and there's like this is a full-blown musical at an hour and 14 minutes too, mind you.
This goes back to Pinocchio and Snow White in particular, where it's someone had to score this film, to compose all the music for this film, specifically for this film, not borrowing music from anywhere else, not using one song that has nothing to do with another, but they really had to put a lot of effort into this film's soundtrack and score, and they did beautifully. Oh yeah.
Did beautiful, and it works. None of them, like you said, there's one or two of them that are kind of forgettable because they're not the key ones. A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes and Bibbidi Boppidi Boop tend to be the two that everybody knows. But like all the songs serve a purpose and they work really well in the places that they do, and they're perfect for the story. There's not one that just like that doesn't. It kind of seemed out of nowhere. Why is that song here? Right. That doesn't really fit. So,
if you want to think more modern and in Frozen, that opening song where they're cutting the ice is so out of place in that movie.
I have a feeling that song, and we'll get to that one someday as well, because that's on our list, right? Isn't Frozen part of this?
Oh yeah.
Right? Okay, that's what I thought. I have a feeling that that's from the original draft of that movie.
Yeah, it's just odd.
Yeah,
but all the music here in Cinderella works towards the film itself, which makes it that much more complete of a total film.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, let's talk for a second about the prince and the kingdom. First of all, a tiny kingdom. I love that. That's the Once Upon a Time in a Tiny Kingdom, massive castle.
Well, they some people just didn't have their scale correctly. I think back in that time,
but here, so let me point this out real quick. So the birds and the animals of Cinderella's life are these cartoonish characters that talk and interact with her. Mm-hmm. The very first scene, the very first establishing shot of the castle, there are two doves sitting on the ledge to the king's window. They are not cartoonish animated speaking birds. They are very realistic looking birds. Where Cinderella has a horse that has expression and is obviously a little bit anthropomorphic. The horses of the kingdom are horses. They are there's nothing and that's a great distinction between the two worlds and Cinderella versus the others.
Right. And now do you think they did that as a way to help show how does this separate those two worlds? Do you think that's what they did on purpose? It was deliberately done. So Cinderella is more kind of not necessarily naive, but she's not in that type of upper class. Not upper class isn't even the right term either. But like she's got more of a carefree world. So the animals to her are her friends and they're people just like her. But all those other animals, that's what the rest of the world sees. That's the question. Does the rest of the world see her animals as those types of are they looking at her going she's got 7 rats
that might be 4 birds? That might be one of those hand waving questions where it's where you ask that and you just go,
Is that how you got out of answering my question?
I'm waving my hand at you.
I see how this is on this podcast, a very visual cue of waving your hand.
That's why I'm making the noise too. Okay, so we have the king and we have the Grand Duke, and these two are full-on important characters to the plot of this film. The prince himself is so unimportant to any of these characters' motivations. He is a device for a lot of the means to the end situation. He has all of 5 lines in the movie.
Right. Now, does that mean that technically, the prince is the MacGuffin of the film?
Yes, he very much is, because everything revolving around putting the characters into action is regarding the prince. Right. But he's arbitrary. The king just dreams of being a grandfather, and his son has gone off to war and he's returned, and let's get him hitched so I can have more little ones running around the house. Right. And there may or may not be. Go ahead.
It seems so weird that it's the king that wants that, and it's not the. But I guess then it doesn't put any remote. Even though the king has good intentions, it doesn't put any kind of creepy or weird tone to the prince, because I almost feel like the prince being I just came home from war and I sure could use having some children running around this. I want to find me a wife. He comes off as Gaston at that point, actually.
If you do it that way, right?
Yeah,
of course. No, it's the king's motivation to want to have little ones running around. And let's scrape a little deeper than we probably should here. There's a good reason why someone of this character would want to have little ones running around. His wife is clearly deceased.
Right.
There's no sign of the queen.
Which continues the ongoing Disney trope of parents that are dead.
We have two. We have 2 in this one, because Cinderella's father has passed away and the prince's mother has passed away.
Exactly.
And there's no mention of her, but with context clues, she's not there. So
it's we don't ever see her, so clearly she's dead and not just off somewhere in the castle the entire time.
But I love the king is a great character because there's nothing malicious in him at all. He is he's a jolly, kind of out of touch because of just being stuck in that castle and in his own little existence. But he's motivated. He has all this love to give, and he just wants to have grandkids running around.
And yet again, the king continues the Disney trope of being the elderly father with the mustache who's short and rotund and kind of absent-minded. They love that character, everyone. They love him.
They do. And then you have the Grand Duke, who's a wonderful sidekick to the king in this this uptight, flabbergasted, just doing the best he can.
And tries to just... Oh, when he's trying to tell him that the princess got away.
Right,
he's like warming up outside, and it's like that's it, sir. He got away. Okay, I'll say that. Okay,
that scene when he's talking to the chair before he goes in to talk to the king is great. That humor works to this very day.
Yeah, I was gonna say that feels like a gag that would be in a Disney movie nowadays. That whole like misdirect, like you think he's talking to it. Oh, he's trying to work up the nerve before he actually talks to the king about it.
Yeah, sure. One might call that a cinema sin or a cliche that practicing the speech before actually doing it, but it works there. And there's another great joke that is so contemporary to this day, which is when the king freaks out and the Grand Duke is like, "Sir, your blood pressure."
It's so weird, like that they were there. That they make those two jokes, which are very contemporary jokes. Like obviously, that is not topical to the time that this film is supposed to be set in at all.
Yeah.
But like that was obviously we're breaking any kind of like time continuity for this gag because this gag is funny and people will think this is funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Blood pressure was a thing. It still is.
I don't have blood pressure.
But none at all?
No, not at all. What are you talking about? I'm part of the modern day. People don't have blood pressure nowadays, DC.
Yes, that makes sense. So look at the characters that have names and development and arcs and stories to tell. The prince does not have one. He is not all that important.
And the weird thing about the prince, while watching it, I realized I always thought, I guess in my head, I thought he was in it more. I thought he was more of a character.
No, he does not show up until the 48-minute mark.
And he's only seen for, what, like 5-6 minutes maybe? And then Cinderella leaves, and then the whole glass slipper part is being handled by another person, not the prince. Mm-hmm. And then he shows up at the end when they're running out of the castle, having been married. Like, oh, he's in it for maybe 10 minutes total.
Yeah, because in terms of storytelling, in terms of what is being said in this film, that's not the important part. The important parts are the themes of hope and dreaming and the inherent goodness that Cinderella has and the pressure that other characters put upon one another throughout the course of the film. Yes, apples are apples, I know, and this might be looking deeper than we should, but why not? Why not look at what's here? Because, and now, Jeff, this is another point of conversation, there's criticism towards classic Disney movies, especially classic Disney princesses, that they perpetuate stereotypes as well as perpetuating bad messages to little girls.
Right.
That, oh, you should just want to marry a prince and be happy. That's what little girls should want.
Because he's gonna come along and he's gonna take you away and everything's gonna be great and fine and you don't need to do anything.
Yeah, I argue that this movie does not do that to the degree that people accuse it of doing, because Cinderella herself, right at the beginning, she doesn't dream of being in the castle like Aladdin. No. Once that bell goes off, oh, that clock. Yeah, I hear you. She's not interested in the kingdom itself. She's content in her own little world for as sad as it might be. And the opportunity to have her hopes and dreams come to realization is not about, oh, now I can go fall in love with the prince. No, it's now I can wear a pretty dress and get out of the kitchen and go and just be fancy for one night. Right. I'll even dance with this very handsome guy that swept me off my feet without even knowing it's the prince. Like she didn't care.
Right.
All she cared
about
was...
She just wanted to go out for a night. She wanted to get away from her life just briefly to enjoy herself again.
And when the decree that whoever fits the slipper will be able to be the queen or be the princess, I interpreted that as, oh my God, this is the scholarship to the college I always wanted. This is the job opportunity I've been waiting for. This will change everything.
Right.
Not, oh good, I'll get married. Like that was not. I don't ever see any moment in the movie where that is what she's thinking.
Right, it's easy, and like there's obviously, I would like to think that there's been a period of time between Cinderella them finding her at the end with the glass slipper and then them getting married.
Yes, I wrote the same thing. They did not get married right away. Surely there was some courting.
There was some courting there. She probably went off. She probably explained to the prince the life that, like, who she is, and he fell in love with her for who she is, and they made a deal, and she's not just not just there looking pretty being a princess. That she probably, I like to think that Cinderella probably still kind of helped around the castle.
Yeah, you know what? Jeff, we may be just dreaming and wishing right here, but hey, a dream that you wish can come true. But I wrote the same thing.
Cinderella.
They do have at least one thing in common that could potentially bond them together, and that is the loss of parents. Cinderella doesn't have a mother or a father. And the prince lost his mother, and you better believe that king is going to be one of the greatest father-in-laws of all time.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
because he'll see his potential or future daughter-in-law as a person who comes from a family much like his own. Yeah, for the loss of a parent or parents, actually, because Cinderella lost both of her parents.
That's right.
Which is really depressing when you think about that. Like. But like he would look at her as like, well, yeah, she's not just somebody who wants the money. Much like the stepsisters. The stepsisters in this film are that character of, we want to get married to the prince so we can live a life of luxury. Like that's who they are, and are willing to like, and you see them going, to extremes to try to. Now, obviously, they don't go to the extremes that they do in the book because the book is brutal.
Yeah, they cut off their heel and they cut off their toe. And then the glass slipper gets filled with blood.
It's so gross. Anyways, but they still, like, they're willing to lie about it. They're willing to, like, cheat about it. And they're willing to lock away the person that they know very well is the real person that they're looking for. They know Cinderella. Well, at least the stepmother knows Cinderella's the one. So I can't remember if the stepsisters do.
No, they never put two and two together. They're not smart enough.
So that's kind of what I thought. Like, I don't remember them being smart enough to know that. So, but like they're willing to lie and cheat to become that, and that's what like Cinderella obviously is not. Right. And that's a nice separation, and that goes to show like I really do feel it goes to prove like what we're saying that it wasn't just a immediate marriage. It wasn't just a like that's not why she was doing it. Yeah, she didn't sit there and longingly look at the castle and from her window and talk to the animals about someday maybe we'll be there, or wouldn't it be nice to live in a big, like, she never talks like that in the film.
No, she is happy to exist as she does. She dreams of something more, but she won't say what that dream is because if she tells it, it won't come true.
Right,
and that's what I would say to people who criticize Disney fairy tales in this fashion, that it's like, it's perpetuating stereotypes. And now, granted, they leave the sewing to the women is very that's stereotypical gender roles there, but there's an unselfishness to Cinderella, and that comes across in her entire journey through this hour and 15 minutes.
So it's beautiful. Like we've seen longer films, we've seen shorter films than this so far, and this is the one that didn't really feel like an hour and 15. Like I was watching it, I was getting into it, and I'm like, I'm curious to know how much time we have left, and I checked the time on it, and I'm like, I have like 12 minutes left. Yeah. This is almost over. Wait a minute. I've already watched it for like an hour. Like it didn't even feel like an hour. Like I was just enjoying myself watching this movie.
Yeah. The conclusion sure does come quick. Oh, what were you saying? Which?
No. Yeah, that's it. You said it. the end kind of just happens, but still, and not in necessarily a bad way.
No, because the resolution of all the stories it's there. You have the resolution. You have the completion. Here's the tag. They live happily ever after, and now close the book. And that there is another criticism about the Disneyfication of fairy tales, of stories in general, that they always make them cleaner and cuter and nicer. But, like, for example, Jiminy Cricket was supposed to die in Pinocchio if you go from the original source material, and the stepsisters should be bleeding to death if you go to the original source material. But that does nothing for an audience other than shock them, because when those concepts were created, especially if you look at Cinderella, it was easier to tell people not to be a dick when you bled to death because you cut off a limb out of greed and selfishness. and putting the fear into people through these fables and proverbs was more important than entertaining them. And where Disney's goal is entertainment, of course, there still is an acknowledgement of the lessons in the original fairy tales and fables. And so I don't have any problem with the Disneyfication of Cinderella. We'll discuss in future movies if I do or do not. If you, Jeff, or if I have a problem with what they've done to the source material.
Right.
But for now, in this film, it works. It's okay that they didn't kill the characters. Right.
And yeah, it totally. And because it wouldn't have been warranted. It would have felt almost out of place if they did that in this movie.
Right. Look at the modernization of some of the Cinderella stories that have the darker versions of them. You could look at something like Ever After, which is a little more PG-13, and there are any number of versions of this story. But I think that the classic Disney version of it's the simplest and it's the best. There's no reason to get overly complicated with these characters in such a simple message, which is a dream is a wish your heart makes, but inherent goodness, and don't be selfish, and living that way could and can give you your dreams coming true.
Right. Yeah. All you got to do is cry and go out to the park bench, and your fairy godmother will show up creepily underneath your resting head and arms. By the way,
yes.
fairy godmother's got some stuff going on there. Just saying.
All right, Jeff, fine. You go ahead and scrape at the underbelly of Cinderella. I will be the eternal optimist right now.
Okay, so if we're going to be doing that, let me bring up a couple other things then real quick.
Please do. Go ahead.
Okay. Number one, why did the slippers not turn back?
Well,
everything else turns back at the end of the movie. Why did the glass slippers not turn back?
It's her gift. It's her gift for following the rules.
Okay, I'll buy that. Good. Okay, good. Number two, I only have two more. These are literally. It's so funny because my notes for this were very positive, very happy, and I didn't really nitpick this movie because I usually do in my notes just in case I ever come up with them to talk about it. But I get to the I got to the end, and it was the last 10 minutes of the movie that I started nitpicking for some reason. But so number two, I really don't feel like the king's logic is very sound when trying to find the owner of the slipper, because the whole premise is that the one whose shoe or whose foot fits the glass slipper is our princess. Mm-hmm. Is Cinderella some weirdo that has by the way, she has very teeny tiny feet.
She does. Yes.
So maybe that's the logic behind it.
No, you missed it, though, because that is, in fact, acknowledged. Because the Grand Duke says there are thousands of girls in this kingdom. This shoe could fit one of them. And the king says, doesn't matter. He said he would get married. I would get grandkids. Put it on someone's foot who fits. He said he'd marry her. That's it. So they do acknowledge that is a flawed idea. That is... But it also lends back to the script and the goodness of the story in the script. She has the extra because she could put the shoe on and be like, surprise, I also had the second one. But no, the way she proves that she is in fact the one worthy of that slipper is she has the other one.
Right. Because which is funny because I get, again, in my head, from what I remember, I don't remember her having the other one. In my head, she left the one behind. Also, she left the one behind, and it was the prince that finds the slipper. That's what I had in my head, not the Duke that found it.
The Duke, yeah, the Grand Duke finds it.
So that also in my head, I remember because she only has one that all of her stuff turned back, and they brought the one glass slipper. For some reason, the one that she left behind didn't turn back, but this is how I remembered it. And
you remembered wrong.
I remembered it so incorrectly. It's not even funny. No, but that's what I remember. And obviously I was wrong, and I liked it. I liked it as how it was. I needed to be critiquing. I needed to discuss the negative of this.
I'm gushing over this movie, so obviously we need. It's good to have a counterpoint. Otherwise, we're just spending 30 minutes going, "Yep, it's good.
And then I have one final thing to bring up. And it's not actually, this is not a nitpick, I promise. This is because we discussed the slipper. And it's actually the final trope that I was able to record in this. A villain of the movie falls to their death from a very high place.
Yes, Lucifer does fall to his death. We are once again at a Disney trope. This isn't the first time we've seen it because it happened in Bongo at the very least.
Right. And and obviously Snow White, it happens with the wicked.
Oh, right, yes.
But so what I started doing is I separated the Disney tropes and the Disney firsts because now I'm just trying to see how often these things show up. So in this film, the Disney tropes, the death of a parent, the falling to the death of a villain, because I count Lucifer as a villain in this film.
Yes, yeah, and he definitely fell to his death. Right. I don't care that he's in the made for DVD sequels; those don't count.
Well, and there's theories about this too, because I looked up that, and the theories being that well, you never see him actually hit the ground, and because he's a cat, he easily could have landed on his feet and been okay. The other theory of that the whole cats have 9 lives mentality.
Oh, okay.
So maybe he just used up one of his lives and he's completely okay. He was allowed to come back from the dead. I looked it up because I was curious. I'm really? Has anybody done anything with this? Who's talked about this? Somebody's got to talk about it. But
not that I wanted the cat. I didn't want him to die. I'm just saying.
No. It almost is kind of they killed the cat. Oh,
Bruno got his heroic moment. He murdered a cat.
He murdered a cat. It was kind of crazy. But since we're on the Disney tropes, let me talk about a Disney first.
Oh, okay.
Actually, now I'm sitting here wondering if this is not necessarily... Well, you know what? I think I count this... Yeah, I will count this. I had written down that the villain of the movie, the main villain of the film, has an animal sidekick that is just as evil as they are.
Oh, yeah. Lady Tremaine, Lucifer.
Right.
That would... I don't... Let's see. No one in... No. Yeah. Yeah. You did. That's definitely a first.
The closest that I could think of, that I second guessed it, was Honest John.
Right, but
from Pinocchio. But they're
they
kind
aren't
of
animals.
Right. They're equal. It's not a human character with an evil animal. In my mind went to Jafar and Iago. That's where my head went. I'm oh yeah, like that, right? So
or Flotsam and Jetsam from Little Mermaid with Ursula.
Exactly. So and then obviously then you get it gets borderlining a little bit because then you get the Lion King and you have Scar and the hyenas. They're all animals technically, but they are still animal sidekicks. You could argue.
Oh wow. Well, to just reiterate the tropes we have, the animal sidekicks, the villain falling to their death, deceased parents. I'm going to call the showstopper of Bippity Boppity Boo a first. I think that. Oh,
I like that. I like that.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that counts. Well, I got no strings to hold me down. Does that count? I'm giving it to Bippity Boppity Boo.
I think so. Because you know what, Bippity Boppity Boo feels more like what you would think of as the showstopper song. I Got No Strings feels like it's just another song in the movie. It feels like it's another one. Plus, because there wasn't so many of them back then. Because in Pinocchio, there's only what 2, 3 songs.
Yeah, Got No Strings.
When You Wish Upon a Star is from that, right?
Right? Yeah, is that it? No, we're talking about Cinderella. Who cares about Pinocchio?
Who cares about a movie that was 10 episodes ago? If you want to listen to us talk about that, go there now.
Or our number one from previous collection.
Oh yes. But, my head hurts now. Oh no.
There's also the solo hero song that the Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes is Cinderella's solo, which we will see through princesses through all of Disney time from this point on.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm writing all these down so I don't forget.
There's also the Goofy yell.
That is right. And it's what is it the King and the Duke? Is that when they fall?
When they fall from the chandelier, you hear
That's right. Which I'm just I love that was a thing that Disney put in his movies. And nowadays you couldn't do that because it was so associated with Goofy. People would be like, why is Goofy in this movie all of a sudden?
Oh, man.
Though you could argue the Goofy movie, you could argue that the Goofy scream is the original Wilhelm scream.
Oh no! You can't call it the Wilhelm scream because it was around before the Goofy scream, but it is
True.
Disney's equivalent of the Wilhelm scream. Oh no! Does that mean I'm going to be annoyed by it from this point on? Because I hate the Wilhelm scream. For those listening who don't know precisely what we're talking about with the Wilhelm scream, the Wilhelm scream is this soundbite of a guy screaming that has been used since sound was put to film, and it is everywhere. It is this cliche scream that people sneak into movies all the time. It's in every Indiana Jones, every Star Wars.
Yep.
It sneaks in
it was kind
all
of
over the place.
It was the thing that Lucas and Spielberg that they started like reusing heavily in their films. It would have been used a couple of times just as a legit sound effect scream, but when they started making the movies, then they started using it, and it was purposefully done.
I can't.
I know, it's such a unique sound. Actually, Lindsay and I brought this up in one of our episodes of AFI because it was used. Oh man, I don't even remember what it was used in, what movie that was, and I remember playing it then because I sought out and found a crystal clear HD version of the Wilhelm scream.
Nah.
I'm an awesome kid like that. I spent the 20 minutes to find that thing.
Well, if people listening are interested, just go to YouTube, search Wilhelm scream compilation, and you will never not hear it again. Every time it happens now, you'll be like, oh.
And if you've ever watched any of the CinemaSins on YouTube, he points out that it's always like some member of the Wilhelm family.
The Wilhelm.
Like he always points it out when it's in a movie. So definitely watch for that. So I have two little things I want to talk about. I want to bring up a theory, TC.
Okay.
I did find a theory for this one. Now we're starting to get into the more well-known Disney films, so these theories are ones that have definitely been popping up more frequently in the last like handful of years as well, because we're starting to because now we're in Cinderella. We're in these films that people have seen connections to other Disney characters and other Disney films. More so the connection to Disney films from the last 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
And this whole like it's all part of one big world type scenario, which I've already kind of been trying to connect earlier on in this podcast, so I'm just going to keep going with it. But
go for it.
This is only partially a theory, but it's also backed up by visual evidence because the king and the Duke appear on the ship in The Little Mermaid as guests of the royal wedding.
Oh, really?
They are and it's not just they kind of look like. No, you compare them. They are drawn to look exactly like the king and the Duke.
Okay.
Oops. Which means that technically, if we are to believe, and they're standing next to each other too, which kind of makes me be like, well, they're obviously they're side by side, they're together.
Right.
So that leads the theory to be that this movie, that Cinderella and The Little Mermaid, take place in the same world.
Okay.
And obviously Cinderella. I mean, obviously Little Mermaid. We're 39 years away from it at this point. But we're only like 15 episodes away, actually, for that matter. So it's not super far. We are 16 episodes away from that. So,
jeez, that's crazy.
But they are on the boat. They're on a boat. They're on the boat for the royal wedding because you clearly see them. And when we get to Little Mermaid, I'll try to remember to bring it back up again. But they're on the boat, so that means Cinderella and Little Mermaid are at least the king and the Duke were invited to the royal wedding in that film.
Wow, that's good eye. You researched it. So whoever found that, good eye.
Good eye on them. And obviously when we get to Little Mermaid, there's additional connections because it seems like the last 20 years or 30 years of Disney movies currently have started making more little connections to previous Disney films. So we'll talk more about that later. But that was the one. So it's not really technically. Well, yeah. The theory is that it's the same people, but you look at them and you're like, yeah, that's the king and the Duke. Like,
oh wow. So I know there's other connections from Little Mermaid, but is there any other connections to Cinderella? I jokingly said, could the Blue Fairy be the elderly? Could the good fairy godmother be the elderly version of the Blue Fairy? Being silly, of course, but
right. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any other like connections for Cinderella.
Okay.
Like to her and to her herself. But that's the one connection into that movie. But that does ultimately mean, like when we get to it, things like Hercules is part of this world because Hercules, like, what uncle is Poseidon. Or is Little Mermaid's dad or whatever,
right,
like
okay.
like little things like that. But then he's also like at one point Hercules is wearing Jafar's skin from the Lion King, so that means
Scar,
Lion King or
Scar,
yeah, not Jafar. So like there's lots of like that, which we'll get to that stuff for all of those movies. But the movie Cinderella is connected to a dozen or so, or like at least a half a dozen of these films in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. But. So I'll keep a lookout, but I haven't found anything else for Cinderella herself.
Okay. Well, of all the movies we've watched so far,
oh no,
this one's easy. Come on, let's be honest.
So it's my number 6.
And again with the 6. Did you bump Ichabod and Mr. Toad down or up then?
Ooh, good point. I'll say so. Ichabod and Mr. Toad went down to 5, and then this movie's number 6. And no.
This is number 1.
This is number 1. I am I love the Sleepy Hollow bit, and I enjoyed parts of the Mr. Toad one, but I mean, come on, hands down, Cinderella is so much better than that movie.
Yeah,
it was so nice to see a full length film story again.
Yes, watching these in order as they've been released, and it is very clear that we have entered a new era of Disney, and the movies we have coming up. This is going to be a difficult 10 films.
It is.
Looking ahead at what we have, there's some incredible films in here that I'm not. We're going to have very different lists. I know that. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say like it's gonna be very hard because there's also like there's like 2 or 3 of them here in a row that I've seen and I know, but then we do hit the era post 101 Dalmatians when we hit like The Sword in the Stone and Jungle Book, and those are ones like I have not really actually sat down and watched from beginning to end ever.
Oh, I'm excited for those.
Yeah, so it's like I'm intrigued. I'm like, all right, as an adult. Like with adult mind in place, let's sit and watch these films instead of it being me as a kid going, "This is boring. This isn't fun. Where's the genie?" Like like that type. Like I'm not going to be that. I'm going to be able to actually sit and watch it and have a real opinion on it. So I'm kind of excited. It's going to be fun.
Well, we said the tropes and we've said some theories. We've ranked it. I actually have a tweet this week from Poot in the Glasses. Poot in the Glasses.
Putin the Glasses.
Now, just to whoever you are, that is a very clever play on "Put on the Glasses," which is from They Live, which is about putting on glasses to see the real world around you, and the fact that it's Putin the Glasses is you're a clever man, whoever you are,
or lady. Let's not put this
yes,
down.
I'm sorry, and their picture is a drawing of Putin with 3D glasses on. So
that's fantastic.
But the tweet from Putin the Glasses is, of all the good and evil magic we have seen so far, who would win in a battle? Who would win in a wizard's duel, which is a reference to a movie we haven't watched yet. But, so Jeff, of all the good magic and evil magic we've seen so far, who would win in a fight?
That's tough because, I mean, so there's a lot of transformation. There's a lot of or transfiguration. I don't know what the actual proper term for that. There's a lot of things being turned into other things with the magic powers, both good and evil, that we've seen so far. Because you go way back to Snow White, and it's like, well, she physically turned herself into something else. Now it was a potion, but you could have that potion on you, and like maybe she throws a glass bottle and it smashes into the fairy godmother and she changes. Oh man, I don't know who would win. Who do we have? We have the evil witch from Snow White, right? Or do you have?
Yeah,
okay.
well, I've been jotting down a list as we've been talking, so help me babble it out here. So we have the evil witch from Snow White.
Right.
We have the blue fairy.
Okay, yep.
We have, I can't remember his name, but he's the guy who turned all the kids into asses from Pinocchio as well.
From Pinocchio.
Yep.
Oh man, I forgot about him.
Yep. We have the Sorcerer's Apprentice, the wizard from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Right.
Okay.
I'm
already trying to like battle them up against each other in my head. That's why
the guy who turned all the kids into asses. He's definitely low on the list.
he is low because I feel like he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah. Oh. Good night, everybody.
I'm sorry, and that's how we end. All right. No.
So we don't have anyone from Dumbo. We don't have anyone from Bambi. So we're looking at the evil witch. I think Disney, the wizard from Sorcerer's Apprentice could beat her. Then we're looking at the Blue Fairy. She's inherently good. Could she go up against a battle against someone so powerful like the wizard from Sorcerer's Apprentice, the sorcerer?
Right.
Let's just call him the sorcerer.
We can just call him the sorcerer. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the sorcerer is almost he to me almost feels like he'd be probably the more powerful one because it seems like just who he is and what he's kind of doing and working on. He comes across as the most powerful one.
Right, but there is also the demon of Bald Mountain.
True, and he is able to bring the dead back.
Yeah, Cernabog, the demon from Bald Mountain versus... Now that would be a fight worth watching. The wizard, the sorcerer versus the Bald Mountain Cernabog.
Oh, man. Can we have like a 20-minute short of that? Because that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's see, who else? I can't think of anyone from the package movies that's magic necessarily.
Charlie McCartney? The puppet?
The puppet. Okay, so he's dead. Just the dream that I wish.
all the evil people, or all the wizard and fairy godmothers, whatever, they're all standing in a line, ready to battle. The door opens and Charlie McCartney like hops in with Edgar Bergman, and they all just stop and turn to him.
Yeah,
and then he just explodes into a pile of dust. Poof. And then we cut back to the wizards and all them, and they're all just like arms are out, just staring at him with like wands. And then they all just turn back to each other and go, "So where were we, anyways?" And just continue on with their fight.
Oh boy! And then we have the godmother, the fairy godmother. So
see. Now, the godmother, I kind of like to think she obviously knows what she's doing. She might be a little absent-minded, but she knows the power and she has reasoning behind everything she does.
Yeah, I think she'd be the surprise that
right.
I think the Blue Fairy could be taken out by Cernabog and the sorcerer, and then it'd be down to the sorcerer, Cernabog, and the fairy godmother. I think the fairy godmother would be like a wizard Columbo, where she's like, "Oops, what? Uh-oh," like
right, and like just does these little things that catches them completely off guard because they don't expect her to be that type of person.
Right,
and she's able to like easily match even with with the other two, if not somehow take them down.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
I like
man.
this. I that's a really great question. So I think our answer is the fairy godmother probably would be the winner.
we're giving it. We're doing a little bit of bending in some fan fiction, but I think that the sorcerer. His name is Disney backward. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but the sorcerer is definitely a powerful guy, and he definitely has a presence to him. He's very, Gandalf, angry Gandalf, and
yes,
and the Cernabog is a demon of hell.
But at the same time, he can be defeated by sunlight.
Yeah, so I think,
or at least
the
put
fairy
back into
godmother
his
wins.
sleep. I think fairy godmother wins because you know what? Daylight comes around, and all she has to do is do one big magical spell and just blow the rock to pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he come back in pieces? Does nighttime come and it's like little fleshy pieces of him all over the floor? That's gross. I don't want to see that.
Thank you for tweeting at us, Putin on the glasses. Putin the glasses. Thank you for tweet that at us again in about a dozen films, because we will have no lack of powerful magicians and magic users throughout the course of the Disney movies. And I would love to have this question presented to us again. We'll just have to make next time it comes up, I'll make the list before I ask the question.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. That way we can just kind of go down the list.
Yeah. But those listening, I'd like to hear what you have to say about this question, and feel free to comment below. Of the magic users we've seen so far, who do you think is the best? Who is the most powerful?
It's definitely a great question, and yeah, like you said, definitely something that we can come back to multiple times as this goes. Because oh man, especially because I feel like the magic users get to be more and more the further we go into this.
Oh,
especially like, well, you argue the last 20 years, there's a ton of magic, very powerful magic, either villains or good guys. Because you have like the genie and Jafar, Genie and Jafar from that one movie, and from Aladdin alone, you have two very powerful magic users.
Yep.
You know, and then you get into Frozen and you got them. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a great question for later.
Yes.
I'm very excited about this question.
Okay, I'm putting it out there now. We need to put it out into the world. It has to happen. Disney, you are missing a huge opportunity here to make a Smash Brothers of your characters. How is there not a magic users Smash Brothers style Street Fighter fighting game? Come on. I want it. Give it.
I would want that because they're, and think about it. Look at it. Because who would play video games? It'd be people from the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of your magic users are from the last 30 years. Yeah, there's more prior to that, obviously, like who we talked about. But you're going to have people from our generation who would be the ones playing the game, knowing who these people are.
Give me a Marvel versus Capcom style fighting game with all your Disney magic users. Now, granted, you're going to want to put in Mickey and those non-magic users, but I specifically think the powerhouse characters are the ones who use magic. Oh, my God.
You could argue you could put Mickey in there because if he's wearing the sorcerer's hat.
Okay. Yeah.
He does wield magic. You could argue that that's okay. And I actually, honestly, if that's all it takes for Disney to release a game of that nature, it's like, well, we have to have Mickey, and it's like, all right, well, then just give him the sorcerer's hat. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, then let's make the game. Like, if that's all it takes, then just do it. Because that'd be awesome.
One might say that Disney Infinities is essentially giving us what we're asking for, but Disney Infinities is an adventure game. I want specifically a side-scrolling fighting game.
Yep.
With
I want a character select where I can choose which person is going to go up against which person. And let's just fight. Let's do it.
Jeff. Oh man.
We need to make this game. We need to find people who can make video games. Or we just need to start a petition and get Disney to make it.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Disney,
well,
I know you're listening to the podcast right now, so please make this.
Yes, they're waiting to give us the cease and desist.
Yes. That's why this entire episode is full of copyrighted Disney music. So,
for those listening, if you'd like to tweet at us, you can tweet at Jeff at Random Bell, or you can tweet at me at TC's Big Head. And, of course, we have the Facebook page, facebook.com/Top Shelf Pod. Yes, I got it.
Yay!
you can comment there as well. But this is a great question.
That's a fantastic, and that's definitely one that has a lot of legs. And we will be coming back if we do not bring that question up again in like 10 or 15 episodes. Please, everybody out there, remind us to because we have to. We absolutely have to. That is a fantastic question. That's. Oh man, my head is already wandering about all the future people that we could talk about.
The unlocked characters. We have an unlocked character screen right now. Yeah.
Yep, we have to battle with these first couple in order to unlock them, and so many hours of play. So like they used to back in the day.
So Jeff, we're kind of wrapping up here. Is this movie worth showing to kids? Is this movie worth watching? Should people go back to this?
You know what? This is definitely one of those films that there's nothing scary in this movie. There's absolutely nothing scary. Even the bad guy comes off as, like she's not necessarily a bad, and it's a cat is the other like really main bad guy.
Right. I will say Lady Tremaine is one of the best villains we've seen so far because she's so developed in design and characteristics that she's even though she's so minor of a villain in what her intentions are, she's so well realized. She's a great villain for this. For the movies we've seen so far.
And she's not magical. She doesn't actually have any like qualities to her like we've seen for the traditional bad guy for the couple that we have seen so far. But she's still you can tell she's inherently evil. You can see that she doesn't want Cinderella to be technically happy that she's kind of taking advantage of her, and it's a really good movie. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed Cinderella.
Yeah. If you haven't gone back and watched this, check this movie out and watch it with someone young, because this is a movie to show someone if you have a love for Frozen, you should be watching all the classic Disney princess movies.
Right.
And this is the true first. I know Snow White is the first Disney princess, but this one, we've listed it more than once in this episode of what this movie is doing.
Yep. And it works so well. Yep. It's setting a standard. Like this is what people traditionally think of as the Disney princesses. Cinderella is that. Like, and it feels good. It was a good movie. It's a really fast runtime. There's a lot of really good jokes in it. A lot of good humor. Again, for a movie from 1950, it's a lot of humor that, as we've already said, you would have seen today in films. And I actually would have liked to have seen this, like, with my nieces, because I think I would like to get their opinion on it, their reactions on it. It's coming from me. It's coming from an early 30s-year-old guy who didn't watch this one as a kid, and I still enjoyed it. It's great.
I think it's easy to remember this one incorrectly, as you did with some of the elements, but I think that it's easy to remember the cliche Disney princess singing to birds that help her, blah, 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 getting married, happily ever after, right? But you said it, there's a lot of great jokes, and it's a great pace, and this is a good movie. So I'm curious to see what the listeners have to say.
Yes, as CC said, everybody leave your comments below the post when I post this, which if you're listening to it now, it's because you probably saw the post or it's on the iTunes feed. So just leave comments. We like hearing. And thanks again for Thomas for leaving comments and messages. TC's really great at interacting with people. I feel horrible. I don't do it more. I really need to do it more. I'm so sorry, everybody. And obviously, thanks to Jessica for the comment regarding last week's films and the packaged movies and all that stuff, and about whether or not Pixar. If it would work if Pixar had released a feature-length film. So I wanted to just bring those two up because, again, as I said before, we like talking with you guys. Yes, I like seeing TC talk to you guys, is what I'm saying, basically.
Well, we're happy to engage, but yes. I think we've reached the end of our conversation.
Yep, Cinderella, good movie. And with that, TC, I think that's it. I think we would insert our sign-off here.
This is a sign-off.
Yeah! Complete with music. Live and nice lady. All right, goodbye, everybody. This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.